crair pwysica'r ysgwrn yw'r Gadair Ddu. Y gadair hardd hon a enillodd Hedd Wyn yn yr Eisteddfod Genedlaethol yn 1917. Ond yn anffodus, ni chafodd Hedd Wyn hawliau wobr am ei fod o wedi cael ei ladd ym mrwydr Cefn Pilcem rhai wythnosau nghynt. Cafodd Hedd Wyn ei gladdu yng Ngwlad Belg, ac mae'n un o eironia ei hanes mae dyn o'r wlad honno naeth y Gadair Ddu. O Mechelen, rhyw 90 milltir i ffwrdd o le bu farw Hedd Wyn, y daeth Eugène van Vleteren. Ar ddechrau'r rhyfel, a'r Almaenwyr yn sgubo trwy gwlad, roedd o yn un o'r 250,000 o ffoaduriaid Belgaidd na ffoi i Brydain. Ers canrif, gweld y Gadair yw un o uchafbwyntiau unrhyw ymweliad ar ysgwrn. Ac yn 2013, cafodd ei sganio mwyn creu replica ohoni, jyst rhag ofni rhywbeth ddigwydd i'r Gadair wreiddiol. Gerald Williams yw nai Hedd Wyn, ac mae wedi bod yn tywys ymwelwyr o gwmpas yr ysgwrn ar hyd i oes. Ond fel mae'n cyfadda, gyda miloedd o ymwelwyr yn galw bob blwyddyn, mae hynny wedi gadael rhywfaint o oel trael ar y Gadair.
Dwi wedi trio cadw bob un darn oedd yn disgyn de, i chi. A dyn yn y bocs bach ma. Dwi wedi cadw nhw gyd i chi, ma chi. Wel, dyma chi ddarn o gwmffon y ddraig yn de. O hwn, wyddwn ni bod hwn di dod yr hyd tan dod o'r bobl yma diwrnod o blaen. Dwi'n ei beio nhw, den nhw torodd o'n de.
Pan ddechreuodd y gwaith o adnewyddu'r ysgwrn yn 2015, roedd rhaid gwagio pob dodrefnyn o'r tŷ am y tro cyntaf mewn canrif bron. Dyma Naomi Jones, un o'r tîm oedd yn gyfrifol am y prosiect.
Dyma ddwrnod reit fawr i ddweud y gwir, mae'r Gadair Ddu newydd gael ei symud, ac mae hi yn eitha bregus. Wedyn fi'n cael ei llusgo allan ar flanced lle fel bynnag yn lleiad a phosib o bwysau a risg iddi hi. Mae deimlad od iawn gweld y Gadair Ddu yn symud heddiw. Yn un peth, mae baich teimladau Gerald ar yn cydwybod ni, a mae'n ddrwg calon gyda ni weld bod Gerald yn teimlo mor dris o'n ffordd yn gweld y cadeiriau'n symud. Wedi dweud hynny, dyn ni'n gwybod bod hyn yn waith sydd yn angenrheidiol, a dwi'n gobeithio pan fydd y Gadair yn dod yn ei hôl ym mhen blwyddyn, bydd Gerald yn falch iawn ar hyn sydd wedi digwydd, a Nina hefyd.
Y dyn gafodd y cyfrifoldeb o adfer y Gadair Ddu i'w gogoniant gynt oedd Hugh Haley, un o warchodwyr hen ddodrefn amlycaf Prydain. Dros flwyddyn yn diweddarach, i draw i'w gyfarfod ag o yn ei weithdy yn St Clair.
Are you on schedule?
It's going well, yes, I think we are. Right. If you'd asked me a month ago, I would have doubted it, but we seem to be getting there.
Do you know, something I've been wanting to ask you, I mean, to me, this is, as a layman, this is an amazing piece of furniture. But to you, as somebody who works with intricately carved pieces of furniture every day of the year, just how good is this piece?
Oh, it is extraordinary. There's no doubt. All Eisteddfod chairs tend to be heavily carved and are all pretty impressive, but this one is definitely a cut above. Often you'll have a panel within a plain back,
right,
and the carving goes on the panel. Here you can see that the chap has used the entire canvas, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, just this stuff here is... How would he have done this?
This would be just a mallet and a chisel.
Right.
They'd have drawn the pattern on with a pencil. Right. You can often see the point of the compass where he drew the circles.
That's right, there's one there.
You can see one. Yeah. Then he would have selected a chisel of the particular profile. Right. And then he'd do every top curve. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Turn the chisel over, perhaps do another one. Bang, 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 bang.
So he'd work on the whole piece.
He'd work on the whole pattern. Yeah. The great thing about this chair is that the closer you look, the more you find.
Really?
And particularly, you'd have to come around to the side to see the work just continues to get more and more extraordinary. This is clearly the work of Eugene van Vletteren.
So would it all have been his own work?
No, I think we know that the chair was ordered 6 months before the Eisteddfod.
Right.
So he couldn't possibly have carved the whole thing in 6 months. And in actual fact, when you come to study it, you can see the different hands, almost like handwriting, of the different people who worked on it.
Can you give me an example?
Well, an example would be that perhaps his best carver did the back. Around here you get the work of the master. This is certainly Eugene. And then in places here and here, there's the apprentice.
They're not quite as confidently executed, are they?
Absolutely. So now to appreciate the work of the master, so to speak, we'll have to resort to the magnifier. If you in the corner here, what looks like a smudge is actually 3 horses. Yes. And
on something about the size of a 50p piece. It's like fine lace, isn't it?
Carvers all over the country have studied this, and everyone is agreed. It's bordering on impossible.
Really?
Absolutely. The oak is a very coarse timber. As you carve it, little pieces will just flake away, and yet that hasn't happened all the way around. It's absolutely perfect. But the main work we've been doing has been the dragons, of course.
Right.
Which I think the last time you saw it, this was...
Yeah, it was missing. Well, the other one still is missing.
These dragons are actually built in 3 pieces of wood.
Right.
We've got...
Oh, you can just see the join.
Can you see the join there? And it runs up through his chest.
Yeah.
And up through his nose here.
And then another one.
And another one at the back.
So the 3 pieces of wood were then glued together.
Glued together.
And then carved.
And then carved.
Right, I see.
His claw, in fact, was carved in the solid along with the whole front leg.
So this hasn't been turned then?
No, that's been... That's
amazing.
Carved in a circle, leaving his tongue and the claw in the solid.
So this one's nearly finished.
This one's nearly finished.
1 or 2 pieces here.
Yes, you can see there were 1 or 2 pieces missing.
Yeah.
I think what has happened is that someone in the past has sat in the chair and then grabbed hold of the nose of each dragon to pull himself out.
Right.
And they're only attached by their ankles.
And they just cracked.
So it just cracked away.
So where's the other one then?
The other one now, I have to take you to the workbench to see that. Because
is he looking rather more forlorn than this one?
He's looking very much forlorn.
Yes,
Lead absolutely.
Okay. Right.
Thank you. And this is the problem that we've had with the dragon.
It looks as if you have to be very good at jigsaws to do this job.
Absolutely, yes.
Yn ôl traddodiad, daeth y pren ar gyfer y gadair o hen drawstia a achubwyd o do a batig Glyn y Groes ger Llangollan, ar ôl i mynachlogydd cael ei cael lawr a'i llosgi yn amser Harri'r Wythfed. Mae arbenigwyr wedi tueddu diastyru'r stori hon, ond mae Hugh wedi gwneud ambell i ddarganfyddiad sy'n awgrymu fel arall.
Right, because on taking this piece apart, this had been glued up with modern white PVA glue. Yeah. And there within the body of the dragon is a scorch mark.
Gosh.
And as well as scorch marks, there's evidence of deathwatch beetle.
Right.
And deathwatch beetle comes in damp roofing timbers.
Not in furniture?
Not in furniture, which is too dry for them. So, if that's the case, the monastery was built in 1201, which makes this an 800-year-old piece of oak.
Right.
Now, timber shrinks over time as it seasons. Right. It contracts.
How much does it shrink?
The estimate is 3/16 of an inch per foot per century.
So over 5 centuries, that's nearly an inch per foot.
That's nearly an inch per foot. Yes, although it would reduce after a while. That's over, say, 2 centuries that we've seen panelling in houses, and you can measure them. But either way, that means that this timber has now become extraordinarily tightly.
So the loose grain becomes tighter grain.
The loose grain becomes tighter grain.
And you can carve it more easily.
And we'll take that level of detail.
Right.
So this tree was an acorn in the year 700.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So in mending it, this piece here, the wingtip there, I noticed they're in a lighter oak. You've carved that in as a new piece.
Yes. The whole chair, funnily enough, is quite interestingly, the photos taken at the Eisteddfod, the entire chair was this colour.
Really?
Which is the colour of oak, of natural oak. But there are 2 reasons for it becoming darker. The first is that they used linseed oil to seal the wood.
Right.
And linseed oil has the effect of darkening timber over the years as it oxidizes.
Okay.
And then coupled with that, there's the fact that this chair was in the parlour and right beside the coal fire, which has been burning all those years, presumably. Yeah. And the soot in the room, although you wouldn't notice that the room is it's full of soot, there's sufficient that all the oak furniture in all the big houses and what have you goes dark from the influence of the soot. This is the last bit of carving to be done. This piece was missing altogether, so I've grafted a bit on.
And will you stain that to match the...
Yes, I think I probably will. There are two schools of thought on this. Museums often like you to leave that clearly visible.
Right.
There's a school of thought that you shouldn't use timber, that
really?
It should have been made up with putty of some sort. Personally, I'm more of a work in the, you know...
It's a better tribute to the
It's a tribute to the chap.
work.
Yes, it's compatible with the original in that this will move and shrink in the same way, whereas a bit of putty would definitely not and would then drop off. And I take the attitude that the fact that it's there is carefully documented in the report.
Yes, I think having these little flecks of lighter coloured wood sort of just draws your attention unnecessarily.
Yes, yes. Much better to blend it all in.
Okay, well, I know you're on a tight schedule, so Hugh, thank you very much for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure has all been mine. Thanks very much indeed.
See you again.
Bye-bye.
Ychydig wythnosau'n ddiweddarach roedd hi'n amser i'r holl ddodrefn y buodd Hugh yn gweithio arnyn nhw i gael ei dychwelyd i'w hen gatre.
Dwi'n siŵr bod chi'n edrych ymlaen.
Yna waith. Edrych ymlaen gweld yr ddod yn dod nôl. Mae'n ei gweud da chwrdd eich. Da iawn.
Cynrychioli enau dy lle, ynddi?
Ydy. Mae math o tîm o enw i'r tîm i Gymru, ynddo.
Roedd dychwelyd y Gadair Ddu yn stori newyddion yn ei hun, gyda galw ar Gerald i sefyll am lun e ddau. Mae crau'r pwysica'r ysgwrn yn ei ôl ymharlwr y tŷ unwaith eto, lle gall gyfareddu ymwelwyr am ganrifoedd eto i ddod.